welcome back. I'm Laura and I garden in Connecticut, zone 6. And you guys, winter has finally come for us. We got like a foot of snow these past couple days, and that's pretty much all we had all winter. It was beautiful until this past weekend. And we're supposed to keep getting more. So it's okay though, because we're going to have some warm days in between. So hopefully they'll be melting and it won't all stack up. It's going to be fine. So it's March 1st and we're just going to move along as if there's not a ton of snow on the ground. The first thing I want to do is move some of my really cool tolerant seedlings out to the greenhouse. It's really more of a cold frame. It's not heated in there, but the temperatures for the next 10 days, the low is not supposed to get anywhere under 23. So the ones that I'm putting out there are Larkspur, snapdragons, and violas. Those all can handle temperatures down to at least that and more. I did some research about the temperature tolerance of all of these flowers, so I wrote some of them down. So for the pansy and violas, they can handle temperatures down to the single digits. Stock can go down to 14 degrees. It can probably go a lot lower than this. These are just like safe temperatures. Snapdragons were described as bulletproof. I will link the website that I found this information on. They said bulletproof, meaning they can handle -10 even lower. These are Fahrenheit temperatures, by the way. Larkspur can handle down to -5. So those will all be fine out there. I did have them out there a few weeks ago when we had nicer weather like this, and they were fine. I would say they even thrived out there. So this should be just fine for them. So I'll show you guys what I'm bringing out. And I'm also going to be pinching back some of my Alyssum seedlings. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And what else? I guess that's about it. So thank you for joining me, and let's go. Here's a fun gardening hack for you. This is a giant, like a parrot bird cage that my husband got from our local swap shed. If you are just joining the channel, you will hear me talk a lot about the swap shed. We get a lot of free stuff in the swap shed. We always try to give a lot to the swap shed so that we have good swap shed karma. So this we got for free, and I'm using it like as a second layer of protection. So basically it's its own little greenhouse inside a greenhouse. I could have put this inside my house, but we just don't have the room. So I'm keeping some of my seedlings in here. And if it gets super cold, I can put a blanket over it. And then it has a double layer of protection. So that's really cool. Inside my house, I did a similar thing last year where I used a dog cage. One of those black metal like pop-up dog cages, and I put a lot of my seedlings in there. I set it up so that the cats wouldn't eat them. Basically, one of my cats just wants to chew on anything, so I put them in there and they were totally safe from him. So that's a good hack. So these are the ones that I'll be moving out to the greenhouse for now. I did have them out here a few weeks ago when the weather was nicer, and they did great out here. I brought them in because we were having some pretty cold nights, and it's not heated in here. But these, let's see, we've got pansy, viola, I guess, 3 types, and then snapdragons in this tray. And then I have larkspur, some more larkspur, and then I have stock. So they can all handle temperatures down to almost the teens, and we don't have any temperatures below 25 in the next 10 days, so they should be just fine in here. I did want to mention that I started Larkspur this year for the first time. A lot of the information said you're supposed to sow those in the fall, let them be like a cool flower over winter, pop up in the spring. I didn't want to, so I started them from seed, and I did read a lot about that they have a deep taproot, and that's one of the reasons they like to be direct sown. So here's a little interesting thing. I moved these ones into these cells, which are kind of short, if you can see, and they're not doing well. They're stunted, they're not growing at all. But these, which I put in a nice, tall, deep seedling tray, these are doing fantastic. So, I should have done that for all of them, obviously. Okay, so you can see I have my little 6-pack of Alyssum seedlings here. They are a little leggy. I'm okay with that because Alyssum is more of a trailing flower anyway. It's going to be mostly, I'm going to use it as a ground cover. So, but I do want to beef these up a little bit. So I'm going to pinch them back. And the first thing, the most important thing is that you wait until there's a few sets of true leaves on here. These are the seedling leaves, the first ones when your seedling pops out of its seed. Then you have your first set of true leaves. I have another set here and a third set here. I'm going to cut it back all the way to the first one, and it's super simple. So here is where this third set is growing out. If you were going to pinch it off there, you would just, bam, like that. I'm going to take this one back all the way to the first set. Just like that. And I'm going to do that to all of the ones, as long as they have enough true leaves. Now this little guy here is just too little, so we have to wait for him to grow a bit before we can pinch him back. This is going to help them grow stronger, so they won't be quite as leggy, and it's going to help them branch out. And I will show you a clip of another plant that I have pinched off probably 2 weeks ago, and all the new growth on it. I'll insert that here. So these are some ageratum that I pinched back probably about 2 weeks ago. So you can see on this one here, you can see where I pinched it back at the top, and then these are new branching leaves. This one has been pinched back, and look, there they go popping out down there, branching out. So it's working. Back. We've got some other things in this tray also. I did want to mention, last year I overseeded these into like a single tray. I really put probably 100 seeds in there, and they didn't grow to their full potential. And so this year I spread them out super thin and just did one in each cell, and I think that was also wrong. I went the extreme the other way. So I did read that these are supposed to be seeded a little bit more thickly. So I should probably have 4 or 5 in each cell so that they can form a nice mat. But by pinching them back, hopefully they'll grow a little bit stronger, and then I can plant them really close together. So thank you all for watching. I want to give you a little tour of the greenhouse eventually, and I will do that. It's just, it's not great in there right now. It's not completely camera ready. So I'll give you, probably next week, I'll give you a tour of that. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Trying to produce some more content for you, gardening related. I may also start uploading some other content. When I started the channel, I was hoping to do one of 3 things or all 3 of them combined. I am very into gardening, obviously. I'm also super into horror. If you're part of the horror community, you know what that means. So I was hoping to make some horror content as well, and if you're into that, feel free to stick around. Hopefully I'll have something soon. And then the last thing is that I am I'm a crafter. I have an Etsy shop. I make wigs, and I was thinking about making some videos about how I make the wigs. That would be really complicated and probably take a really long time. So that's something I'm going to think about doing in the future. So crafting, gardening, horror, those are the 3 things I want to focus on. And if you are interested in any of them, please like and subscribe. Thanks again for coming, and have a great week.